Welcome back to the Crochet with Kelsey channel. I have a market in less than 2 weeks and I haven't started prepping for it yet. So in this video today, I'm going to be kind of taking some inventory and showing you a week plus of market prep and what I'm doing to get ready for it, along with what patterns I'm making. I'm gonna try to mix some new patterns in that I haven't really done before. I wanna kind of stay away from the basic market patterns that you see. So hopefully if you do markets as well, you can get some new ideas from this video. And I'm super excited to get ready for my market. I haven't done a market in quite a while just because last year I really spread myself thin around the holiday season because I wanted to make as much money as possible, and it didn't really feel like the holidays as much. I wasn't able to make all of the homemade gifts that I wish I could have crocheted, and I was just extremely overwhelmed, burnt out, and running on fumes. So I decided for my well-being that I was only going to do 2 winter markets this year. So one of them is called Etsy Dallas. It is a event put on for small business owners that have Etsy shops. And I attended this event last year. It went pretty well. So I'm super excited to try out this event again. Hopefully it goes well for a second time in a row. And the other event that I have in December is going to be one at a high school. So I got into this high school one last minute. I was actually on a wait list last year, and people are on the wait list for a long time for this particular craft show that I'm doing. And somehow all of the vendors ended up getting sick. I don't know if they are all friends or they went to an event where something was going around the weekend before or something, but so many people got sick. So there were a lot of vendors there that were doing the event for the first time, and it was an amazing event. So I'm really looking forward to doing that one as well. I did have to cut a couple of shows from my holiday lineup, and I kind of decided which ones to cut based on my sales from the previous years. But I'm still super excited to have some more holiday shows. And before I get into showing you what current inventory I have, I wanted to show you some new projects that I've recently made, and I will be taking most of them to my market. So let's check them out. So up first, this is my new pattern. If you follow me over on Instagram, you have probably seen it, but this is Lumi, the Winter Guardian. She is part of the same series as Petra, the Protector, and Elowin, the Healer, if you've seen those. And she is just a winter goddess, a winter queen. I'm super proud of this one. I love the fluffy little cape. I love the details. And these horns are from Relic Works. So whenever the pattern is released, there's going to be a discount code in the pattern for these horns and other horns if you want some horns for your plushies. So I thought it was really cool that Relic Works was willing to kind of collaborate with me on this, because I think that it just makes the plushie look absolutely stunning. So I'm super excited for her release, and probably by the time this video is out, it will be released because it takes me a while for everything to be edited and posted. So yeah, keep your eye out for Lumi. I also have been obsessed with the sploot patterns from Snuggle Beans Crochet. If you've watched my other YouTube videos, you probably know this by now, but I had to absolutely make the mod that I saw for Eeyore. So Cat Magic 19 and Snuggle Beans Crochet on Instagram worked together to release some mods that Cat Magic 19 made from Snuggle Beans Crochet. That is a lot of Instagram names said in one sentence. Anyway, she modded the patterns to be Winnie the Pooh characters. So this is actually a free mod that you can get on both of their pages. It's just a post, but you will need the sploot dinosaur pattern to complete it. And it's Eeyore. It is so cute. I'm so obsessed with how adorable this is. The moment I saw the post, I was like, I absolutely have to make that. And it was kind of nice because I can just use normal safety eyes. I didn't have to pick out some special eyes, and it just it looks a lot like him, I think, in my opinion. So the mod is excellent. The sploot pattern is excellent. He can lay down, he can sit, he is so cute, and he has a little button on his tail. So I was originally planning to bring this little Eeyore to my market, but one of my friends really likes Eeyore and she's been kind of going through a rough time right now, so I'm gonna give it to her instead, and I think she'll really like it. And it is very rewarding to see, you know, your friends and your family enjoy your plushies, and that way you don't have to say goodbye to them forever. And you can still see them sometimes, which is nice. So Eeyore is going off to a friend of mine, but that's not the only sploot that I've made since I saw y'all last. I also tested a pattern for Shannon, aka Snugglebeans Crochet, and it is Pipsy the pig. I am dying at how cute this is. It looks like just like a sad little puppy dog piggy. I might have sewn the ears maybe a little too far up because they kind of cover the eyes, but I think it honestly adds to the cuteness of this plushie, and I seriously couldn't be more happy with how it turned out. And look at the little tail. I honestly am thinking about possibly making another one of these for my market just because they work up so fast. I love the sploot patterns, and it's really cute. I feel like hopefully this little plushie will find a home. And I also have a lot more of her patterns that I am hoping to work through this week, but I wanted to show you my little piggy. I also completed another pattern test, and this pattern test is a winter test from Therapy on My Hook, and it's her little snowflake pattern. So funny story, I saw this pattern, I was like, looks easy, like that's an hour make max, but I was so wrong. This pattern is much more complex than I expected, but it's a very fun pattern. It's a very unique pattern. There's a lot of parts and steps that go into it, and I highly recommend it. It really does turn out beautiful. Like, you really don't see a lot of patterns that are no-sew that are this complex looking, so I really, really, really like it. And I feel like in today's world, people are moving away from more unique patterns, and they're kind of, you know, wanting to make some more super basic, like easy patterns, no-sew patterns. But I like whenever something is a little different, something has a little extra pizzazz. I like to put in the extra work to my plushies to make them look as good as possible. I want to differentiate myself from other like market crocheters who sell like the octopus and the possums. And I just want to thank creators like Therapy on My Hook that make unique and pretty patterns for everyone. And not to say that there's anything bad with making those easier patterns. It's just like, I don't know, I just get kind of burnt out seeing that all the time. And when I'm making stuff that, you know, doesn't really make me happy, it just isn't as fulfilling. It's just not, even if it's a quick make, it just isn't as satisfying as making something that's like unique and cute and you can really look at and be super proud of. So anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I absolutely loved this pattern. Therapy on My Hook has a lot of other cute winter patterns that are around this size, I believe, that she is either testing. It'll probably be released by the time this video is out. So definitely be sure to go check out her page. All of her patterns are really cute. And the last thing that I've recently made are some Demogorgons. So I saw this pattern from Just a Mom Crocheting, and we are actually re-watching the last season of Stranger Things right now because the new season is coming out next month, and I just thought it would be so cute on a cozy little Sunday while we're watching Stranger Things to make a few little Demogorgons. So I made 2 little baby Demis, and she has all of these patterns, this pattern along with this pattern and a snuggler pattern all together for $5 on her Etsy shop. So this was the first one I made, right? It's like a light tan color, and this is the second one I made. So I made this one, I showed it to Nick, and he said that's not the right color. Nick was saying that this is the right color. So please leave a comment telling me what color you think the Demogorgons are. I cannot for the life of me find a picture where they're in like a normal lighting. It's always just kind of weird, and I even went on Reddit and nobody knows what color they are. They say it's either a mix of these. So we placed a $5 bet. I think this one will sell first and he thinks this one will sell first. So one of us will be getting $5 as long as one of these guys sells. So those are the mini baby demis. That is the name of this pattern. And then they're also, you only have to sew the head on to the body, which is super nice. Everything else is like crocheted in. And then this one, you just have to sew the feet on and the head on. So they're very low sew. This one probably took me an hour and 15 minutes. These guys probably took me about 45 minutes. So honestly, I think they're super cute for the time that they took. And I think they're like a more unique pattern that hopefully people will gravitate towards. But that's everything that I've made pretty much since last time. And now I'm almost thinking maybe I shouldn't have been focusing so much on pattern designing and I should have started crocheting more things that I'm going to sell for my market, but you know, it's too late to have regrets. So we're just gonna move forward and let's go check out my inventory that I have. Let's head into the chaos corner and see what I've got going on over here. So I have plenty of like smaller, medium, and large plushies. So basically anything that's not itty bitty. I also have plenty of like jumbo plushies. So I have this one. I have this little, well, he's actually big, Totoro. That'll be coming with me. And hopefully, this is the market season. That sweet little Charizard will find a home. I'm not really worried about having two little plushies. I'm really done, I think, crocheting the larger stuff. Plus I have the Pipsy the Pig sploot along with the Snowflake and the Demogorgons that will be able to go there. Sorry that the lighting is terrible in here, but basically my main focus is just like filling up my smaller displays. So I always like to have a smaller display that has $10 items and one that has $12 items. And so what I'm doing is moving some of my $12 inventory that I've just had for absolutely ever. And I'm moving it in here. And I think I'm gonna try to sell all this stuff for $8. I mean, I have had some of this stuff for over a year now. I remember I made these after the last Etsy Dallas market and nobody bought them, but somebody requested them. And so I made them stupidly, but that's okay. I still like all these things. They're super cute and they are perfect for a lower price point. So I would usually sell this stuff for maybe $10 with the exception of these, which I usually sell for $7 or $8. But I don't think I need to make any more stuff for this basket. This is like the bargain on sale basket for this market. So we're good on that front. This is my typical $12 basket. I usually would sell all these for $12, but I don't know, like usually the loaf cats and the possums sell really well. I have had this little Benny Bear for a market or two now. So I need to make more stuff for this regardless, just to fill it up, maybe like 4 more items. I was actually thinking about maybe putting the little Demogorgons in there, but they're definitely worth like 15 at least, I think, just because of how long they take. I mean, maybe I can sell them for 12, but anyway, I'm gonna make some smaller things to put in here. So that's another goal that I have. And then in this lovely box, I have my blind boxes and I only have 2 of those. So I need to make a lot of those. And I only have a few claw machine items. So I definitely need to fill this up. I'm gonna make some more of my claw machine buddies from my claw machine buddy pattern pack. I'm gonna make at least 1 of each of them. And I have a good bit of keychains and car mirror charms in here. If you can see, I don't really wanna pull them all out, but I think last time I counted, I had 24 keychains and 8 car mirror charms. So I'm probably good on that, but I might make a few extra claw machine items to make into keychains. So for tonight, my goal is to kind of get a plan together and finish my work in progress that I have right now. It is the Berry, the Fury Dragon by Red Mills Crochet. It is super cute, absolutely adorable, and I'm super excited to add it to my inventory, but I will be back in the next day or two with a plan and hopefully some more updates for you guys so you can see what else I have done to prepare for my market. All right, so it is a new day, and after kind of looking over all of the inventory that I had yesterday, I kind of dug a little bit deeper and made a list of all the items that I think I need to make. And on that list is, first of all, finishing my pattern test. I want to make 4 $12 items and 10 mystery boxes. So I have a total of 12 mystery boxes. And then if I have additional time, there are 2 dragon patterns that I would like to make. They don't look like they're gonna take too much time, so I'm hoping that maybe at the end of the week I can kind of squeeze those in last minute. But I will say that I was very productive last night. I did finish my pattern test already. So how I kind of keep track of this stuff is from a checklist in my notes, and I just check the things off, and it's very satisfying. So y'all can help me check off Berry. Yay! So let me show you this little guy. This is the new pattern from Red Mills Crochet that I was talking about, and it is adorable. So he's obviously like a little toothless guy, and you know that it's one of Millie's patterns whenever the tail goes on forever and ever and ever. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little upset that I made it in Posh, because Posh like is so structured and the ears are just kind of a little pointier than, you know, they would have looked in a different type of yarn, but I still love the way he turned out. These beautiful eyes are from Lush Luxe Loops. I could have probably used 30mm eyes, but I'm trying to use up some of the ones that I've had for a while, so I'm very happy that I got to use those beautiful eyes on this little cutie. So that's little Berry. Probably by the time this video comes out, he'll at least be in testing, and he is so precious. So definitely keep your eye out for this little guy. All right, so I was also very productive earlier this morning. I decided to film a tutorial video for something I've been asked for time after time. Every time I post it, people ask where the pattern is, and it is something that I freehanded in the past. So I'm kind of jumping back in time right now because that video is going to be released the week before this video. So that video will be out by this point, but it is this little chicken, and I thought it would be a good idea to just, you know, make a tutorial because a lot of people seem to want the pattern, and it's super small, it's super cute, and it works up super quickly. So it's like the perfect market make. I can actually make one of these guys in 10 minutes or less, which is really nice. They are just awesome. I love these little chickens, and I sell so many of them. I actually only had one left in my inventory, so I knew I needed to make some more because they're hot seller. They're probably one of my best selling little guys. So if you guys want the pattern for that, I will put a little tag thing up here so that y'all can click and watch the video. I'll also link that video in the description if you guys want to see it. But I ended up making 4 little chickens today because I wanted to make one to make sure that I knew what the pattern was, because it's been a while since I've made some. And then I made another one just because I knew that I needed another one. And then I was ready to film the video, and I filmed the video, but for some reason I forgot to start recording again after I like made the body and before I put the little like comb on. So I thought I was done with the video, but I wasn't. So then I had to make another chicken to show that last little part. So I did make 4 cute little chickens, 4 little chickens, and I really think that they're adorable. So I have 4 of my claw machine items that I can go ahead and check off. Boom, 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 boom. And then I decided I wanted to make a pack of my claw machine buddies. So that is what I did. So the claw machine buddies pattern pack includes a total of 6 animals, and they're all like in one document, so you can get that document and make all of them. So the animals included are a little kitty, and like, yes, they're derpy, but that's because they're all literally so small and it's hard to fit in details, but like they're cute in their derpy little tiny way. So with that in mind, I'll show you again the cat. Got a little tail. And then here is the puppy. The puppy is like honestly my favorite one. I think the little ears are so cute and the little tail, and you know, they just have little baubles for their feet and they can just sit up, so cute. And they're like stackable too if you're into that. You can stack them all up. And then there's also a bear. Maybe the bear is actually my favorite one. The bear is so cute because he's just like a little blob with limbs and ears, but I don't know. I really like that one too. I really like all of them. This is like my favorite market prep pattern. I might be biased because it is mine, but I really love them, and I wouldn't have ventured into trying to make things this small unless I really felt confident that they were awesome. So not to toot my own horn, but I just like these little guys a lot. There's a little whale, his little tail. He's twerking it for y'all. And then the little chick. So the little chick is actually a free pattern over on my Instagram. I posted this one for free since I think I hit a milestone over there and I wanted to give something back to my followers. So this little guy you can make for free if you go over to my Instagram. And then I know there's like a million bee patterns out here, but this is my little take on a bee. This might honestly be the smallest bee, crochet bee that I've ever made or seen. Like, I think that you can't really make them any smaller than this with like having 2 rows of black in there. So anyway, I was very productive and I made one of each of those, and then I made 4 chickens. So I actually made a total of 10 claw machine items. So we can go ahead and knock off the last 2 claws. So that kind of makes me wonder if I should either turn the extra ones into keychains or just keep them as claw machine items. But here is the little thing that I put my claw machine items in. So I currently have 4 bees, 2 bears, and the bears are different colors. I do have a little octopus in here. This is a pattern from Sweet Softies. It's free on her blog, so be sure to check that out. They're perfect for the claw machine because they're so tiny. And I also make some little keychains out of those as well, and those sell really good for me as well. So I have 2 little chicks, 1 puppy, 1 kitty, 1 whale, and then 4 chickens. So honestly, like, since I have 2 markets back to back, I might just like keep this many little claw machine items and, you know, just hope that they all sell. I usually probably sell like 10 to, I don't know, 15 claw machine items. So now I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. I have 16. So I think that's perfect. So I'm gonna keep these all as claw machine items, and the claw machine items are checked off the list. So I haven't really decided what I want to make for my $12 items yet. Like I said, I want to make something that's a little like different and stands out a little bit more. So I need to think about that for maybe another day. I am going to start working on the mystery box items just because I have 10 to make, and I know that they're not going to take that long, but just the thought of making more small stuff after I made these little guys, just, I don't know, for some reason I just don't like making small stuff as much as I like making big stuff. Like this might have taken like 3 to 4 hours, but like I have so much pride when I look at it, and then I look at this and I'm like, anyone can make that. But I do feel more pride towards these than I do towards other little patterns just because I did design them myself. So be sure to check out my little claw machine buddies and the tutorial of the chicken if you are also looking for small market makes. So if y'all haven't seen my videos before, sorry this looks so terrible on the back, I do mystery boxes at my market. So I have rebranded them to be blind boxes since, you know, Pop Mart was having its moment. That's probably maybe over by now. But anyway, I have a little mystery box and I put a sticker in there and then I put one of these plushies in there. So since I have 10 to make, I'll probably make, so I'll check what mystery boxes I have. I only have 2, and then I'll try to make an even amount of all of the other items to put in the other ones. So I will hopefully get around to knocking some of those out tonight, and I will check in tomorrow or another day with an update. So I am extremely proud to say that I have gotten a lot of crocheting done since the last time I checked in with you guys, and Max can agree with me. So I sat down the same night that I took the last little clip for you guys, and I was like, okay, I need to start market prepping. But my brain said, actually, I want to make a dragon. And the dragons were at the bottom of my checklist. And I told myself I was going to make those if I had time after finishing all the smaller makes that I needed to make. So I decided to make a dragon from Holly's Yarn Creations, cute little dragon pattern. I am so obsessed with how it turned out. So I actually saw this pattern for the first time recently, even though it is an older pattern from Holly's Yarn Creations. But Kai's Crochet Corner posted a little dragon that she made with this pattern, and I said, what pattern is that? I need it immediately. And she sent me the link to it. So that's how that came about. This was a really fun dragon to make. The wings on it are so unique, and they're just constructed in a really cool way. So I had a lot of fun with it, even though I should have been making some smaller items, but it's just a really cute little dragon, and I'm super glad that I decided to make it because in my heart, I wasn't truly ready to start market prepping. So I finished that one night, and then yesterday was Halloween, and then today I woke up and I was like, all right, it's time to get to business. We have 1 week exactly until the market. So I decided to go ahead and knock some other things off my list. The first thing I decided to knock out was the mystery boxes, the little blind boxes that I make. That includes these 4 little guys. So the patterns for these that I use the Sweet Softies 20-minute octopus pattern for that, for both of those little octopi. And then I use Close Knit Crochet's pattern for this. It's actually the swinging birds pattern that they have, and I just don't put it on a swing, and I put it in a mystery box instead. And then this little bear is a pattern from Crochet by Lana, and I don't know if they have an Instagram, but her Etsy shop is called Crochet with Lana, and it's actually a little gummy bear pattern, but I just kind of put eyes and a nose in it to make it a regular bear. And then this little whale is the bubble whale, and it's a free pattern on Petite Soiree Crochet's Instagram account, and it's super cute, it's super quick, and I love all these patterns. I've been making all of these patterns for my markets for about 3 years now, so these are like some of my go-to staples, and the mystery boxes sell great for me. So I'm hoping that this helps people who might need to find some new patterns for market makes. So I opened up the 2 mystery boxes that I had, and I had one that had a bear in it and one that had a chick in it. So I made 2 chicks, 2 bears, and then 3 octopi and whales. And here's the proof. Here's my 3 little octopi that I made. Here are my little whales, my cute little bears, and last but not least, my little chicks. So I made all of these this morning, and I'm very proud of myself. It really didn't take as long as I thought it would. I just always kind of dread making smaller things for some reason, even though like once I'm making them, it's actually totally fine. So I still had some pep in my crochet step after finishing all those little guys. So I decided to kind of look around and try to figure out what I wanted to make for those $12 items that I still need to fill some space with. And I've had this pattern from Avalon Crochets for a while now. It's like a little dragon, and it's super cute. It's no sew except for the wings, and it took a little longer than I expected, so I will sell this one for $12, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna make more. If I can find something that is maybe a little bit quicker, it might be a better way to utilize my time. But I do like the pattern, and the first time that I make a pattern, I feel like there's always a little bit of a learning curve. So I think that if I was to make it again, it would take a little bit less time, but it probably took me 45 minutes to an hour to make this. And it is really small, but especially with patterns that are no-sew that have like little limbs, you have to adjust for your tension and different things like that. But overall, I like the pattern. I definitely do want to make some more of them, but I also found another pattern that I'm interested in making and trying out. And so if I like that one, I might make 2 of those and 1 more of these guys, and that will be my 4 $12 items. The next pattern that I'm gonna try out is the little Worry Buddy from Naughty Hookers that is a Grinch. So since winter is approaching, I'm thinking people might be wanting some little maybe stocking stuffers and something that's cute and Christmassy. And I've kind of burned myself in the past because I used to make so many seasonal items and they just wouldn't sell. So it kind of sucks having to hold on to all of those for another year. And I don't really have the space to do that. So I'm trying not to go overboard on those seasonal items this year, but anytime I've ever made a Grinch and taken it to a Christmas market, it's always sold. So the Grinch is popular, at least I know. So I think if I just make a couple of them, we'll see what happens. I am also very excited to share that I may possibly be doing another market in November. So I've been on the wait list for this high school craft show that's supposed to be really, really good. And I got an email from them today saying, are you still interested in being a vendor at the holiday craft show this year? And I replied and I said yes. So I don't know if that means that I'm in or not. I guess I'll wait and see if they reply to me, but I feel really excited about it. And I know I didn't want to do too many craft fairs this year just because I don't like getting super burnt out around the holiday season, and I still want to allow myself plenty of time to make gifts for some people if I choose to this year. But I think 3 is a good number. And they're also spaced out like every 2 weeks. So I'll have a market and then I'll have a whole week, basically 2 whole weeks, and then I'll have another market. So I think they're spaced out perfectly for what I need. And I'm just kind of ready to get back out there again. It's been a while since I've done a market and I'm just excited. My Crojo's back and I'm ready to do it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pack up the mystery boxes. So these are the mystery boxes that I use. I get them off of Amazon, and if you are looking for the link, it is in my Amazon storefront, which is linked in the description. But I think they're the perfect size for my little plushies, and they're really easy to assemble. So what I do is I just find a good sticker that I like. That's a nice one, isn't it? Perfect for winter. And I pop that in there. And then I just do a quick little quality control check, get any extra little fluffies off of the plushies. And then I put it in there. And then I take one of my question mark stickers and I put that right on the front of the box. Just like that. So some people have given me the boxes back so I can reuse them, which is very nice of them. So I have a couple that already have stickers on them, but I'm gonna go ahead and pack up the rest of these bad boys. So I am very, very happy with the amount of items that I've gotten done so far, and it's time to take a look at my list. So I got all of my claw machine items done. I still need 3 more $12 items, and then I finished all of my mystery box items today. So I have another optional dragon and just those 3 items. And then technically I'm done market prepping, and then I can just make whatever I want up until the time. I'm kind of wanting to make a few snowmen or something just so that I have a couple of Christmas things, because these are holiday markets, and I've noticed that with some of the older crowds, they like to have little things for decoration. So in the past, I have sold a good bit of winter themed stuff, but last year I made a lot of ornaments and barely any of them sold. So I might just make a few winter things if I have time, but we'll see. I'll check in a day or two and we will see what I end up doing. So I can't lie, it has been a few days since my last little check-in, but I am thrilled to share with you all that I am done with making things for market prep. So I am very proud to announce that everything on my list has been marked off. So I finished all those little items and I was even feeling really optimistic, and I added a few keychains and some Christmas trees just because I realized I didn't really have any Christmas items. So let me show you guys the rest of the things I made. I know I showed y'all that I made this dragon from Avalon Crochet's pattern, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna make another one or not, but I decided that I liked it, and I figured if I made a second one, I should be able to make it a little bit quicker. And look at how cute he is right now. So I was able to make another one, and I made it in purple, and I knocked about probably like 15 to 20 minutes off of it just by kind of knowing what was going on in the pattern. So I'm very glad that I decided to give it another shot. So I'm gonna sell both of these guys for $12. This one ended up taking me about 45 minutes, and this one took me about like around an hour. I wasn't exactly timing it, but I feel like if I was to make more, I would be able to knock some more time off of that. So those are going in my $12 bin. And then as you can see, I was kind of looking at the bin. Oh my, I dropped it. Well, sorry about that. I dropped everything out of the bin, so y'all can just watch me organize it again. So I have my little possums and rats, and possum and cats. Possum, rats, and cats. That's what's in this bin. Possum's gotta be together, and the cat's gotta be together. Okay, so anyway, I was organizing my little bin and I put these two guys in there, and then I realized, okay, I need like probably two more like little things to fit in there. So I went ahead and tried the new pattern that I was telling you guys about that I have been wanting to try for a while, and it's the little Grinch from Naughty Hooker's pattern. It's her little worry buddy, and I did stuff the bodies a little bit. You're not supposed to stuff the bodies, but I just kind of like them like that. So I made a sweet version with little eyelashes and little sweet eyebrows. And then I made like an angry version. And I don't know, I think they're cute. So those are also gonna go in my $12 bin. So it'll look something like this. So that's my $12 bin. I am so glad to have knocked everything off the list. I know that if I do sell some of these items, I'm not really gonna have anything to replace it with, but I told myself I'm not going to stress myself out over this market. And I know that if I was to even spend these next couple of days just making as many smaller items as I can, I know I'm not gonna sell them all. There's just no way. And every time that I have ever done that, the last minute stuff rarely ever sells, so it's just not worth it to stress myself out like that. So I'm glad to have a full bin going in, and if I sell all of them, I'm not going to be mad that I don't have anything to restock them with, because I will be happy that everything's sold. So that's my $12 bin, and we are good to go on there. I also was up here kind of thinking, okay, what should I make next? And I realized that I had this discarded Snorlax body that I had made whenever I was designing my Snorlax pattern. That was a Patreon exclusive. I was like, you know what? I saved that for a reason. And then I remembered that I was going to make it into a penguin. So I can't even lie, I used like minimal effort on this, and I couldn't use any eyes. So I just embroidered these little eyes on. So the Snorlax wasn't like, the face wasn't lining up, so I had to like completely redo the body. So anyway, I turned its body into a penguin. So I just freehanded some little feet for it, put a beak on it, and some eyes. So that guy is going to my market with me as well. So then I was like, okay, I've pretty much finished everything that I like absolutely needed to. And I had making another dragon on my list, if you remember from the beginning when I said, if I get to it, I get to it. And instead I decided to make a little Huey the Highland Cow because I'm testing the Pipsy the Pig pattern for Snuggle Beans Crochet, and she also was kind enough to send us the Huey pattern, and everyone just kept sending their completed Hueys, and I just was so in love with him, so I was like, might as well just make one. So here's my little Huey the Highland Cow. I think he is so cute. I love his little hair and his little body, and those eyes right there are from Allie McKenzie Crafts. They're the golden eyes from her K-pop Demon Hunters collection. And I thought it was so funny because if you flip his hair up like this, it looks like he just went on a roller coaster, which I thought was kind of silly. So that's little Huey, and I'm very excited to take him to my market. I feel like for some reason Highland cows are more popular than regular cows, and I've actually never made one before. So I'm glad that I was able to make this one using Snuggle Beans Crochet's pattern. I just seriously love her little sploots so much. They can sit like that, they can sploot like that, and they're just really cute. And now that I'm looking at him, maybe I should have sewed his hair down, but I feel like if I just kind of style it, you know, that's good enough, because I can't get over that he can do this, and I think he needs to stay that way. So that's something else that I had finished. And I know that I said I didn't really need to make any more keychains because I honestly despise making keychains. But then I remembered I had a free tutorial for a polar bear keychain on my YouTube, and I will put the little tag up here so that y'all can go watch it if you want. And I honestly forgot how much I actually do like this pattern and how quick and easy it is. So I ended up making not one, not two, not even three, not four, but not even five, 6 little polar bear keychains. And you're lying to me if you tell me this isn't the cutest thing ever. So again, if you guys want to make one of these, the full tutorial is on my YouTube channel, so you too can make a cute little polar bear. I'm seriously so glad that I just sat down and made these, because it's been like, I think 10 months since I made that video, and I haven't made any since, but I finished all of these guys in less than an hour, and I'm gonna be selling them for $8 each with the rest of my keychains. So if you do the math, that's a pretty good hourly rate. So I'm excited to take those little guys to my market as well. I just really like them, and it was so fun to give them scarves and give them a little bit of personality. You could even do different colored scarves, and some of the scarves I kind of put in front, did the knot in front, and some of them to the side. So I love them all, and they are going in my keychain basket. So now we're all caught up throughout the week, and then last night I decided I didn't have any Christmas stuff, and I know I said at the beginning of this video that I wasn't going to make any seasonal stuff because it never sells and I always have it for another year, but I caved. I don't know why. I just thought somebody's gonna want a Christmas tree, so I made a Christmas tree. I actually really do like this Christmas tree pattern. It's from AQ Crochets, and I actually have sold a few of these in the past. I tested it for her, I think 2 years ago, and however many I've made have sold. So I really, well, first of all, I really need to clean it up, but I don't know, like the way it turns out, and I love that it can stand up on its own because it has like a flat little base. And like I said, I made this last night, so I just literally finished crocheting and sewing it up, and then I brought it up here. So I haven't had a chance to clean it up or anything. But that is a Christmas tree pattern. And I honestly don't know what's wrong with me, but after I finished that one, I was like, well, you know, I already got all the yarn down here to make a Christmas tree. So I made another Christmas tree with a different pattern. This is actually a new pattern that I haven't tried before, and it is from Foxton Handmade on Instagram, and it's a free pattern. So it was nice to get to try something new. And it's really cute, and I really like it. And it probably took me about maybe 40 minutes. It wasn't like the quickest make, but it wasn't a super long make either. So there's another little Christmas tree that I made. And Christmas is coming up. It feels so weird to be making Christmas stuff in the first week of November, but that's just the world that we live in. So I also have some news regarding the market that I was telling y'all. I might be getting in, not the one that I'm prepping for currently, but a little bit farther down the line. And they replied to my email when I told them I was interested and said, oh, okay, we just wanted to make sure we didn't need to remove you from the wait list. So nothing happened with that at all. But shortly after I was bummed out about that, I got the opportunity to participate in a pop-up event with Whisked, and they are a matcha pop-up that does pop-ups around the DFW area. So whenever they asked if I wanted to join in, I said, well, first I asked, is it inside? Because I don't want to be outside when it could possibly be a little chilly. And they said yes, and I said, okay, I'm in. So that'll be going on the weekend after the market that I'm currently prepping for. So that'll be on November 16th. So I will be sure to provide more details whenever that gets closer. But I was just super excited that somebody wanted to have me at the pop-up. So I'm really excited for that. And I'm hoping that maybe if something like that works out for me, I can kind of move towards that and kind of stay away from traditional markets so much, because let's be honest, I hate, you know, just all the hassle that goes into them, and sometimes they're not well organized. But by this point, I feel like I have chosen the good ones that I want to continue doing, so I'm pretty happy with where I'm at right now. So normally in my market prep videos, I would show you all of the inventory that I have and all the pricing and kind of like my plans for setting up. But unfortunately, this video is running a lot longer than I originally anticipated. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to make a part 2 where I'm gonna show my inventory. I'm gonna price all of my inventory. I recently took all of my price tags off of anything that was priced. So I have 2 giant bags, the ones that I showed y'all earlier in this video, that all need to be priced. So if you're interested in watching that process, along with me doing kind of a mock setup of my booth, then be sure to tune in next week for that video. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing the fun new patterns that I've made, and I hope that if you're market prepping during this trying time, it's going well for you. So Mr. Max actually wanted me to pick him up so that he could tell you something. Be sure to like and subscribe. He's honestly my biggest fan. So you should probably listen to him though, because if he's not happy, he can get really scary and claw and bite. So be sure to like and subscribe, and be sure to turn in next week for part 2 of my prepping journey for this market. See you then.